Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Real-Time Analytics with Azure SQL Data Warehouses. I'm Megan Souza, Marketing Manager here with Dunn Solutions Group. Before we get started, I would like to go over a few items. This session will be recorded, and we will send out a link to the recording to everyone who registered within 24 to 48 hours after the presentation. We also have recordings of all previous webinars on our website in the event that you missed any in the past at dunsolutions.com. Also, if you have any questions during today's presentation, we encourage you to submit them, and we'll address as many as we have time for at the end of the presentation. If the question is somewhat complex and we do need more time, we promise to follow up with you for those. So let's take a look at today's agenda. I will begin by doing introductions to Dunn Solutions Group. From there, I will turn it over to today's first presenter, Renata Simonjuntak, and Renata will discuss big data integration with Azure Data Warehouses, real-time analytics in the Microsoft Azure Data Platform. From there, Renata will turn over the presentation to Sunil Parekh, who will do a demo, and we will take any questions and deliver any answers that you may need at the end of the presentation. So let's begin. Dunn Solutions has a long history of delivering innovative business technology solutions. We are headquartered just outside of Chicago and have offices in Minneapolis, Raleigh, and Bangalore, India. Our offerings fall into two practice areas. Our application development solutions feature portals, e-commerce, and content-managed websites, mobile application development, and custom application development. Our analytics solutions feature analytics and BI platforms, as well as data warehouses and data integration. We are authorized SAP and library training providers and offer classroom, virtual, private, and custom options. We believe training is important because once we deliver a solution, we want to make sure that those who need it know how to use it and maintain it. Our clients, some of which are included here, are a combination of Fortune 500, mid-market companies, government agencies, and nonprofits across all verticals. About 80% of our business are commercial clients, and 20% are nonprofits and government. We maintain strong partnerships with top technology companies in order to offer our clients the most innovative solutions available today. Our analytics practice helps deliver information to decision makers throughout your organization so that it runs better. We can help with decision making by not only looking into the rearview mirror, but also looking forward into the future by leveraging predictive analytics and data mining techniques. Thank you all for allowing me to introduce you to Dunn Solutions. I will now turn over the presentation to Renata. Welcome, Renata.
Thank you, Megan. Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is our second webinar of the Azure Data Warehouse webinar series. And in the first webinar, what we did is we show you how we migrate on-premise data warehouse into Azure Cloud Microsoft SQL Server data warehouse. And a lot of companies think about doing this, and now it is a good time to consider this very seriously. So what we did is we connect and then migrate the on-premise data warehouse, and then we stage it with transform and load into a Azure SQL data warehouse. For the second webinar, we are going to show you how we are going to do big data integration with Azure Data Warehouse and real-time analytics. Our focus is on real-time data and non-structured data. So for the first webinar is about migration of the data warehouse into the cloud, and the second webinar is about what else we can do once our data is in the cloud. So that's our story for today. Now let's review what are the challenges that the traditional data warehouse have. So as you may notice, in traditional data warehouse, we have ETL, we have data modeling in the data warehouse. We have the BI and analytic tools. And as the world changes, the challenges are changing. If you see, we have increasing data volume. We have been hearing about this for some time now. This is a new data sources that we have, whether it is structured or unstructured. And we are wondering how we are going to handle all this. Yeah? Even the relational database, as we know, is struggling. That's why we need the big data technology now. So the second challenge is are the growing demand for performances. For this, we used to have adequate performance as per yesterday, but as for today, those performance is no longer adequate, because the increasing of data volume, the plethora of new BI tools, and now the demand is about doing the visualization and the process in about now, and we don't want to wait anymore. For the real-time analytics, looking through the real-time view mirror, we can see the historical data as per yesterday, but the requirement is improved. We are not only need to describe the data, we also need to forecast and predict the data in real time. So not to mention the costs that keep increasing as the hardware, software, and the infrastructure are also keep increasing. So every company has all these challenges. And if you consider your core business as not to build or maintain a data warehouse, you probably need a data warehouse, but you do not want all the headache, all the expenses and the efforts that comes with it. So let's focus on the two scenarios that you are going to see in this webinar today: big data integration with the data warehouse and the real-time analytics. So remember, our data warehouse in this case is already in the cloud, and we are using Azure SQL Server Data Warehouse, which is a massive parallel structured database. So if in the big data, the question here, if only you have a big data, and this big data will give you a significant business insight, if only this big data is in your data warehouse. Because as a business is improving, they gather more and more data, and they need implementation that can help them to understand all this data. So if your the common data sources for your data can be pricing, can be the weather, IoT, and all the sensors. So if your company already have a data warehouse with all those business intelligence tools and analytical tools, it's only natural if you try to integrate your big data into the warehouse. So the first scenario that we are going to see is about pricing, getting pricing from multiple vendors in multiple formats, and try to decide the good price for each product. So that's the first scenario. The second one, real-time analytics, is about managing and monitor data in real time. So the second scenario is about processing and monitoring a website, weblog. We are going to count the number of clicks of a product, and by doing that, we are going to measure how hot the product is, the level of interest of that user for that particular product. So the big question over here is how we are going to upgrade the existing cloud data warehouse to handle these two scenarios. Okay, let's see what Microsoft Azure Data Platform has in store. So let's review it. So this is showing the transformation from the traditional warehouse into a modern data warehouse in the cloud. If your organization already has Azure, you have less headache because you can delegate a lot of maintenance process into somebody else, and you can also reduce the expense because you can pay what you need and you don't pay if you don't need it, and less effort. With multiple clicks in a few minutes, you can get what you want. And that's still there. So what more Azure can offer? Let us focus on a few layers over here. We start with the bottom one as the data warehouse, Azure SQL Data Warehouse, which is a massive parallel storage. And here we have a concept of PolyBase, and soon we'll explain what PolyBase is. We also have an in-memory column storage For big data, Azure has HD Insight, and we can integrate either big data or the standard relational data into Azure SQL Data Warehouse. And under streaming, we have Event Hub, which is handling millions of rows in a few seconds for handling the real-time data. And the next layer, we can use real-time analytics to kind of like analyze all those data using time window. And we can integrate data either coming from streaming, big data, or data warehouse, and display the result, the analytics result, using Power BI for visualization and collaboration in the form of report or dashboard, and the user will show it in the phone, on the laptop, tablets, and etc. So that's what Azure Data Platform can give you. So let's see how Azure will handle big data and real time. Okay, Sunil, this is your time.
Okay. Thank you, Renata. So as discussed, I'm going to demonstrate today about how we can integrate unstructured data, which is stored in the Azure Blob Storage with the Azure SQL Data Warehouse, and then how we can perform a real-time analytics and save data into Azure Data Warehouse, as well as see some real-time dashboards using Power BI. So for this, for both demonstration, we have used PolyBase for integrating Azure SQL Data Warehouse with unstructured data, and use Stream Analytics for real-time data processing. So let's understand what is PolyBase and real-time analytics about. So the PolyBase is a new feature introduced in SQL Server 2016. It's also available in Azure SQL Data Warehouse in cloud, which can only right now supports only Azure Blob Storage only. So it has a capability to access a data in Hadoop or as well as the data in a blob storage using T-SQL. So the user can actually execute a query, and if the table which contains a data which is residing in Hadoop or the Azure Blob Store, PolyBase use the query and execute that table part or the data part on the Hadoop or the Azure Blob Storage, and get data back to Azure SQL Data Warehouse. And the data in the Azure SQL Data Warehouse can be joined with the external data, and the results are provided back to the users. If there are certain computations which are required to be executed on Hadoop, just like some MapReduce job or some aggregation which needs to be pushed down to Hadoop, PolyBase also provides that functionality that computation can also push down to Hadoop, and there is only aggregated or processed results are provided back to Azure SQL Data Warehouse, where it can again join with the warehouse data, and results are provided back to the user. It also provides a facility to import and export data from and to Hadoop or Azure Blob Store, where the data can be accessed directly where the data is stored in the Hadoop, but it can also be imported if it is required for some analytics, or it will require for you integrate with your existing data warehouse. Since it's connecting the PolyBase taking care of connecting to all the data, all the unstructured data which is stored in the Hadoop or Azure Blob Store, and the user has to just use a normal SQL query, a T-SQL query. It's very easy for the developers to or the users to they have to just write a SQL queries instead of understanding how the data gets pulled from either from the data warehouse or from the Hadoop or blob storage. So it's very transparent for the user. It's where the data is coming from. It gets all the data just by joining the tables as we use in the SQL queries. And importantly, it's also, since it uses SQL query, it can integrate with all the BI tools like Power BI or any other reporting tool which can understand SQL. So These are the features of PolyBase. So let's take one scenario. Let's understand the Azure Stream Analytics, which is the second technology we are going to use in our demonstration. So Azure Stream Analytics is an engine which is available in Microsoft Data Platform, which can perform real-time analytics on your Internet of Things or data. Like if you have a data which is in the devices, which is generating the data continuously and which is flowing through your data warehouse system, which can be captured in the Event Hub, and you would like to do the analytics on the real time while the data is continuously flowing into the system. So Stream Analytics can be used for processing that real-time data, where data can be actually stored in the Event Hub or at the Azure Blob Storage. And once the data is pushed to the Stream Analytics engine, it can process that data based on the logic which we have provided, and the time window which we have provided for that processing. Once the data get processed for that particular time window, the output can be pushed to the Event Hubs or Azure Blob Storage, or we can store it into a SQL database which is in the cloud, like Azure SQL database or in Azure SQL Data Warehouse. Stream Analytics also provide a capability to directly connect with the Power BI, and where it can update the Power BI dashboards in real time. So which we can take advantage of that, where if we are pushing whatever the streaming output is happening, we can see the dashboards in Power BI, which is reflecting in real time. We'll see the demonstration for that soon. More importantly, it also provides a facility. It's just not one stream. It can also provide a facility to correlate across the multiple streams of data. So suppose your data is coming from multiple devices and you would like to join that multiple streams based on some time window, it can be also possible, and then the desired output which can be also transferred or stored in the database or the Azure Blob Storage or Event Hub, or it can be also reflected in Power BI directly. More importantly, it uses a SQL-based language, which is very useful for the rapid development, and a developer don't have to learn, if he is aware of the SQL, they don't have to learn any other language, tools, or technologies. It can be very rapidly developed using a SQL-based language. So if you are aware of SQL, we can write jobs using Stream Analytics. So this is about the Stream Analytics. Let's move to the demonstration using these two technologies. The first demonstration is about the price optimization for the scenario where we are going to cover up how we can perform a price optimization. A scenario is online retailer would like to compare their product prices, which are stored in their data warehouse, with the other vendors' prices, which are available through their websites or web APIs. Once they would like to do this to optimize their product price with the market, and then if required, they can update or do some changes in their product based on how their product is doing in the market. Challenges to perform to handle the scenarios are the price data, which is provided by the different vendor. It's provided in different formats. So some provides it can be in a different formats, and the frequency of the data, which is also coming from the different vendors, is different. So once the price data is available from the different sites, the scenario is we need to integrate that or provide that comparison for the price in the store as well with the other price which are available for the comparison from the different stores. And also, company would like to see that on the hourly basis, but they also require to analyze it mostly whenever the file is available in a required format for the comparison. So let's see how our solution will look like in the Azure Data Platform. So these highlighted arrows, it's showing about we are talking about the demonstration which we are going to perform now. So in this solution, the data which is coming from a different vendors, assume it's like Target, Walmart, eBay, or any other vendors, can be pulled through the API, web API, and those file price data gets stored in the Azure Blob Storage. We already have established a format which we have created the external tables in the Azure Blob Storage where the data is available in the Azure SQL Data Warehouse, and it can be connect with the existing data warehouse data, and the analytics can be done on top of both the data which is available in the Azure as well as in the from the different vendors. And then this the Power BI dashboard is created to connect to the Azure SQL Data Warehouse, which execute a query which actually pulls a data from the Azure SQL Data Warehouse as well as from the Azure Blob Storage where the price data resides. So it uses a PolyBase to get the data from the Azure Blob Storage from the different vendors, and it uses a normal SQL query to get the data from which is existing data which is already stored in the Azure SQL Data Warehouse. So let's move to the demonstration of this. So in the demonstration, we have developed a Power BI dashboard, which is currently showing all the prices for the different products available in the data warehouse. So we have a mountain bike 100 with the black, the size is 38, which price is $3,374.99. And there are different products. So for the demonstration purpose, I have filtered the data where I can show the 4 products for mountain bikes and category and the size of 38 and 52. And this comparison is done for the black color as required. So now, first step is, okay, now the data from, let's assume the Target and Walmart is available. And which I will going to, we wrote a utility, which command line utility, from which I'm just going to push the price data to the Azure Blob Storage using this utility. So this utility uploaded the Target price data and the Walmart price data to the Azure Blob Storage, and now the data is right now in the Azure Blob Storage. Since we have already created a structure which is pointing to that data in Azure Blob Storage, now Azure SQL Data Warehouse is also aware of that data, and also the Power BI, we have already written a query which is pulling the data from Azure SQL Data Warehouse as well as from the Azure Blob Storage. So since we have uploaded the file, let me quickly refresh this just to see if the data from the Target and the Walmart is available for the comparison or not. So yes, now we can compare the product mountain bike with black color and the 38 size with the Target price. So Target price is a bit higher, like $3,543.73, and Walmart price is a bit lesser from our price, which is $3,341.24. So this is how we can compare the product data, which is a product price data from the different vendors, where we have just we just pull the data and just store into Azure Blob storage, and as soon as the file is stored, it's available for the analysis. So as we discussed another scenario, each vendor has a different frequency. So now assume that the eBay data is also available, and then for which I am going to upload a file to the Azure Blob storage. So let me quickly upload the eBay file. So right now it's uploaded, and just quickly refresh this to now. So as soon as we upload a file, the data from the file, the price data from the file, is also available for the analysis, where now we can also compare the eBay prices for the different products, and based on this analysis, the user or the business user can take a decision whether to increase or whether to keep the same price, or whether to offer any promotions or discount for that product. So here I'm going back to the presentation. So here the data which is coming from the different vendor it gets stored in the Azure Blob storage, where the data is accessed by the Azure SQL data warehouse using PolyBase, and it's shown into the Power BI dashboard. That's it from the first demonstration. Let's move to the second demonstration. So the second demonstration is about a scenario for the real-time product page views for a company. So online retail company would like to monitor their page views of the products. So each product has a different page, and they would like to see how many page visits happen for each product on their website. And they would like to see these page views across US, and importantly, they would like to see it in real time, as they plan to launch a campaign for their products, and they would like to see how the people are responding to the campaign, and which area is from which area we are getting more product views, and which products are seen by the different users. So challenges for this are the page views data is coming from the different web servers which are hosted in the different data centers. Then the page visits needs to be joined. So the data which is coming from the web server is okay about the page, the user, and the user or the area which the network IP address with the network area from which the user is visited to that page. So that needs to be joined with the master data for the location or for product. Okay, so for this product, what is the product category, what is the product name or subcategory. So the data which is coming in the raw format, which has to be joined with the master data for the analytics. And all this should be happen into real time, and the dashboard which is showing this data needs to be refreshed in the real time as the data arrives from the web logs to Azure Blob storage. And importantly, while doing that, this data also needs to be stored in the warehouse for the historical analytics, because once we're done with the real-time analytics, if we want to see, okay, what was the trend for particular page views of the product, still there should be ability to do the historical analytics on the same data. So while we are doing the real-time analysis, the data at the same time, the data needs to be also stored into the into data warehouse for the historical analytics. So let's understand how we solution this scenario in our architecture. So the data, which is the web logs, which are in the which are on premises, which will be transferred to Azure Blob Storage either using FTP protocol, which is a file copy, or using the APIs, which are by which we can just transfer all the logs from the web servers to Azure Blob Storage. Once the data is started flowing, once the data is available in the Azure Blob Storage, so as soon as it's available, it will start flowing all its rows as in a format of string, and based on the time window we define, the Stream Analytics engine process that data. It will also join this data with the master data, which is also stored in the Azure Blob Storage. So once all the data, all the rows will get started flowing, and it will start updating the Power BI dashboard as soon as it processes each and every row or each file. It immediately sends that output into Power BI, and Power BI will refresh the dashboard in the real time and shows how the page views are occurring across the US in different cities. At the same time, we are also pushing a raw data to the Azure SQL data warehouse, which is storing that raw data and which will be used for historical analytics, and the Power BI dashboard can be developed on top of SQL Azure data warehouse using that raw table, and we can do the historical analytics using Power BI. So in the demonstration, we will see how the Power BI dashboard, once the data is available in the Azure Blob Store, how it can process and update the Power BI dashboard in real time, and then we will see how we can do the historical analytics using Power BI for the data which gets stored in the Azure SQL data warehouse. So let's move to the demonstration for this. So we have developed another dashboard for the streaming analytics. Okay. So this dashboard, let me quickly explain about this dashboard. So this dashboard is showing the page view counts per city. So for Dallas, it has 465. For Madison, 863. So this is the page view count for all the products, which is accumulated till the date. So it's not for today's date. It's for up to date, not excluding today's date. So this map is showing all the page count across all the US per city. This map, once we will started collecting the web logs, this map will showing the page count for the today's page view happening, and it will refresh in the real time. This dashboard will also reflect in the real time at the same, because it's accumulating all the data which is reflected in the Power BI. So we also have a till the date count. This will also get updated once we will start receiving the today's data. So right now it's 0, but once I start the job for collecting the web logs, it will change. And this is the heat map, which says up to whatever the page counts we have already collected till date. The helmets are more popular by users, where we receive 3,987 page views on the helmet from last month when we started this job. So let's start our web log collection job, and then see how it. I'm just making it low so that we can see the reflections in the. Sorry. Okay. So I'm just pushing the first web log to the job. see, the first wave log, as soon as I push, we receive some around 28 page views from different locations. So we got 15 views from San Jose, around 4 from Phoenix, and 9 from Madison. And we also got the same from it's got updated over here also, and this count is also changed. So I'm pushing a second one. So I push the second file now to, and let's see. Okay, so immediately it's also shown some few map counts. That this count is also changed, and then we have now 86. I'm just hiding this, and then so that we can see this real-time updates happening quickly. So I'm just pushing one more file, and you can see the change in the page count as well as from where the data is coming. So I pushed the third one also, and let's see the update over here. Okay, so that is also updated. So we got a few more updates from different locations. So we have now 7 from Raleigh, 12 from New York, 7 from Miami, 14 from Chicago, 9 from Detroit, and 5 from Phoenix. So this all maps also get refreshed on the real time. So once the data is available, the Weblog data is available, which is pushed to the Azure Blob Storage, the Stream Analytics engine process it immediately and immediately send all the output immediately to the Power BI dashboard, where we can see this dashboard reflecting image in the real time as soon as our data get processed for the weblog. So this is from the real-time demo, the real-time analytics demo perspective. So as we are also storing the data into Azure SQL data warehouse, while the same data is flowing into Power BI as in a real time. So let's understand. Let's see. Okay, let me quickly go back to the presentation so that I can explain. So we have seen the data as soon as it's available. It's flowing. The Stream Analytics engine process it and then update the Power BI dashboard in the real time. At the same time, we also store the same data into Azure SQL data warehouse, and now we will see a Power BI dashboard which will do some historical analysis over the same data. So I'm moving back to another dashboard which will do the historical analytics. So let me quickly refresh this because so as seen in this dashboard, so the data is available for the historical analytics. So if you would like to see, okay, what was the page count for 23rd or 24th? So this is the page counts on the 24th. We receive a page count from Seattle. We receive 15 page count from Seattle, 12 from Portland, 15 from San Jose, and if you can also like these are the actions taken by the user on that page. So on 24th of May, 72 users, which is 41% of that day, have added this product into their added products into the favorites. 30 users have deleted that product, and 71 users have added this product into their cart. So, and then we can do the same analytics over the time. We can see okay, from 23rd how on which time page visits occur. So at 7 o'clock in the morning we receive 29 page views. At 8 o'clock 29, 9 o'clock 118, 10 o'clock 114, 11 o'clock 89. So this is the since we are storing the data at the same time into the Azure SQL warehouse, the data is also available for the historical analytics. This is from the demonstration. Let me quickly move back to slide. So let's review what we have seen. So in the first webinar, we have already seen how to migrate existing data warehouse to Azure SQL data warehouse, and how to use SSIS, AS, and SSRS if those solutions are already there, how to migrate those solutions to Azure in the Microsoft Azure cloud infrastructure. Today, we see how we can collect the price data from the different vendors and store it into Azure Blob Store, and then how that data is available for analytics to compare the different products by the business users. And lastly, we have seen the webs log, which we have captured from the web servers. Once those are available or pushed to the Azure Blob Storage, the data gets the stream data gets processed immediately, and it updates the Power BI dashboard in real time, and it also stores the same data into Azure SQL data warehouse, which is also available for historical analytics. So as we migrate our data warehouse into Microsoft Azure platform, once the migration is done, we can also use different technologies like PolyBase or Stream Analytics Engine and do the real-time analytics or perform, or we can connect to the unstructured data directly rather than ETLing and storing all the data and or providing infrastructure to process all this data in real time, where Azure platform provides you all the features on the tools and technology. Once you are migrated to the Azure data warehouse, you can use those and enhance your analytics. So that's it from the demo. Thanks everyone. Giving back control to Renata.
Thank you so much, Sunil. Thank you for showing us what more Azure can do and more business insight by integrating the big data and by integrating the unstructured data and real-time data. So as you can see, once we are using Azure, we have less headache, we have less expense, and we have less effort. In a way, I just summarizing it. So in addition to it, we can also start a POC very quickly, as what we do over here for our webinar. So for that, I want to say thank you for everyone for attending this webinar. If you have any question, if you already have a data warehouse, or if you do not have a data warehouse and you want to have one, or if you have already a data warehouse in Azure, already in the cloud, and want to integrate a big data or an unstructured or real-time data into it, let us know. We have experts ready to help you. Feel free to contact us. Don't forget to come to our website and then see the previous webinar. And this is our email address. You can contact us here. And this is our last slide. Megan, do you have any questions from the audience to us, or any questions?
Well, thank you, Renata and Sunil. That was a great presentation. We do have some questions. The first one is, can we integrate predictive models with stream analytics and do real-time predictions?
Sunil?
Okay. Yeah, definitely we can do that. So stream analytics also provide a functionality where you can integrate your predictive model, and while the streaming data is coming, you can execute that model using on the streaming data, and you can predict in the real time. So yes, that is possible.
Okay, very good, thank you. And we do have one other question. Is there an ETL requirement if we are using PolyBase?
Okay, so ETL is ETL and PolyBase are two different things. I would say we can avoid ETL where, so suppose you have a very unstructured data and which is in the large volume, which needs to be stored in your Hadoop clusters or either in the Azure Blob Storage, but you cannot process all this data, make it validate, and then available format, transform it into the star schema. In some cases, it just requires for the reference or it's external data for the some analysis. So, and if you already have that structure, why to again to reduplicate that data? So in that case, we can actually avoid the ETL and use PolyBase, which is pointing to the data which is stored in the Hadoop or Azure Blob Storage, and still do the analysis without having ETL for the scenarios which is useful. I'm not saying it's completely replacing ETL, but for some scenarios, we can directly connect to the unstructured data rather than transforming it into the structure and doing all those ETLs.
Okay, very good. That looks like that's it for the questions. If anyone has any more questions, please feel free to email those at info@dunnsolutions.com. We'll follow up with those as soon as possible. And thank you to both of our presenters again, Renata and Sunil, and thank you everyone for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this presentation. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks again, everyone. Bye for now.